By the year 2014, in only the 4th season of his career, Nikola Pekovic was putting up averages of 18 and 9 for the Timberwolves. Nikola was a terrifying paint presence, and the first thing that struck out about Pekovic to most NBA fans was his appearance. He only stood at 6'11", a pretty typical height for your average center, but something about him made him seem inhuman. Maybe it was the massive frame, maybe it was the tattoos, maybe it was just something about his face, but of every player in the league at the time, the last I would want to mess with was Nikola Pekovic. The amount of intimidation Pekovic's appearance emitted was only comparable to that of Shaq's. Except Nikola didn't exactly take the same path as Shaq. O'Neal proved to the world that big, burly, scary guys aren't always what they seem, becoming a first-class goofball that is still known as probably the wackiest guy in basketball. Pekovic, on the other hand, played into the stereotypes perfectly, becoming a drug lord kingpin associated with one of the most infamous dealers currently living. Today, we are going to talk about his story. But first, just be sure to drop a sub. It's so quick and easy, and you're not gonna want to miss out on what we have coming for the future for the channel. All you gotta do is click that little red button. It's so simple, man, and this is a pretty small channel, so genuinely, I really do appreciate each and every subscriber. And with that, let's jump straight into today's video. Pekovic's association with the drug world started before his NBA career had even finished. During his NBA career, Pekovic enjoyed a 6-year stint in Minnesota and was arguably a top 10 center at his peak. He could have had a lot better of a career if not for injuries, but with Karl Anthony Towns on the come up and Pekovic never playing more than 62 games in a season, the T-Wolves would say goodbye to him early in the 2016 season. Now, during this 6-year stint in the NBA, Pekovic developed the nickname the Godfather, and this nickname came from the fact that Nikola is the godfather of Darko Saric's son, something that surprised many NBA fans once the news broke. For those of you who don't know, Darko Saric is a very well-known Montenegrin criminal, and in 2012 he was sentenced to 8 years in prison for money laundering. More notably, however, Darko is the brother of Darko Saric, a much more notorious criminal. Darko is wanted on an international warrant because of a connection he had with a 2-ton collection of cocaine that was found on a yacht. 2 tons worth of a powder. That's a lot of cocaine. Saric is listed as the head of the Serbian mafia, and he runs a subsection of it that traffics cocaine from South America through Balkan, Italy, and Slovenia to Western Europe. It is estimated that this trafficking process earns the mafia around 1 billion euros per year, which translated for all my American viewers out there is $1.2 billion. Now let's go back to Pekovic. While playing in the NBA, Pekovic made many investments with Saric, and when Darko Saric was struck with a pile of debt in 2018, Nikola Pekovic very suspiciously paid all of it off for him. From there, the suspicion from Pekovic would only continue to pile. After Nikola retired from pro ball and became a coach overseas, a car in Serbia that was being driven by 2 very close associates of the Saric brothers would be seized by the police. In this car, they found an abundance of drugs and guns, but even more interestingly, they found that the car not only had an American license plate, but was also also registered under a very surprising name, Nikola Pekovic. This car was Nikola Pekovic's. We also have this photo of Nikola Pekovic and Darko Saric together on a yacht, which, given the context that Saric smuggles drugs on yachts for a living and has been caught with 2 tons of cocaine on a yacht before, it makes things very suspicious. If anything, this photo proves that Pekovic and the Saric brothers aren't just business associates, but also rather close friends. Pekovic also owns a hotel and nightclub that have direct associations with Darko Saric, so at this point, the evidence is almost undeniable. Of course, we're talking about the industry of drug dealing here. Most things are going to be very secretive and unknown, so the fact that all this stuff has managed to squeak through the cracks and has become public knowledge, it probably means that there's a lot worse things going on behind the scenes that they really don't want us to know. And that to me is what makes this evidence, although it isn't really that much, pretty significant. Pekovic has never denied being a part of the Serbian mafia, although he never really has said that he is part of it, nor has he denied his association with the Saric brothers. But at this point, the evidence is there and honestly undeniable. When he was asked about the registered car incident, he admitted himself that he was Darko Saric's child's godfather, so he has been open and willing to talk about and confirm some of his ties. In October of 2020, sports writer Kano Klass revealed that when he asked his Serbian friend about Pekovic, he learned that nobody thinks of him as an NBA player over there, but rather a mobster. Honestly, if anything, this whole story just makes me confused. Clearly, Pekovic isn't doing this out of necessity. He made $61.7 million over the course of his NBA career, but if I had to guess, he's had mob ties from a very young age. Once you're into that kind of life, it doesn't really matter who you are, you're not gonna get out. You've already made friends, and this kind of illegal insanity has become normalized to you. So although we have yet to know about the true full story of Pekovic's mob ties, since, you know, you gotta kinda keep that stuff under the radar, the most likely reason behind this all is that he was somehow, some way swept into this life at a very young age. Pekovic was a basketball star very early off, starting off his pro career in Serbia in 2003 when he was only 17 years old, and he was playing full-time ball at an even earlier age, at the age of 15, for a Serbian junior team. I don't know when all the drug stuff started off for him or where he could even find the time at such an early age, but I guess that we just have to admit that we just don't know. Hopefully one day the truth is revealed and we learn the full story of Nikola Pekovic's life as a mobster, but for the time being, this is all that we currently know. All we have are a few bits and pieces of extreme suspicion, but the true full story has yet to be revealed, and maybe it never will be. This is where we are going to conclude today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on this story? Do y'all think Pekovic has done a lot worse than what we currently know about him, or is he simply friends with some bad people? I'd love to hear all your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to subscribe for videos every 3 days. I'd really appreciate that. And with that, stay safe out there.